Now, this is what we have studied in the last few minutes, that what is oxidation. So we have the four definitions being pointed out here. So if you gain oxygen, that's oxidation. If you lose hydrogen, that's oxidation. If you lost electron, oil, that was a mnemonic we remembered with oxidation, loss of electron, that's oxidation. And increase in the oxidation state, that is again an oxidation. अच्छा, अब यहाँ पे इन्होंने कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स कराए हैं ऑक्सीडेशन के। ठीक है, अब मैं आपको पहले तो वी आर फोकस वाज बेसिकली आई विल गो बैक ऑन टू दिस पावर पॉइंट लेटर। आई एम गिविंग यू अ क्वेश्चन एंड it says that calculate the oxidation number oxidation number of, let's say, sulfur, one specific element, in following compounds। ठीक है, अब यहाँ पर मैंने आपको डिफरेंट कंपाउंड्स दिए हुए। number one compound, we have hydrogen sulfuric acid. Number two, it's basically your sulfur dioxide. Number three is your sulfur trioxide. Number four, you have sulfate ions. Number five, you have hydrogen sulfide. And number six, you have sulfur. Number seven, let's say we have सोडियम सल्फाइड। ठीक है, अब हमें यहाँ पर इन सब एलिमेंट्स के अंदर, कंपाउंड के अंदर सिर्फ सल्फर का ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर निकालना है। वी जस्ट हैव टू कैलकुलेट द सल्फर्स ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर, राइट। तो अब अकॉर्डिंग टू द रूल वी आर गोइंग टू अप्लाई ऑल द रूल्स हियर। ठीक है, नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट। आई एम गोइंग, दिस इज अ गाइडेड प्रैक्टिस, इट्स सिमिलर एक्सरसाइज आई विल बी गिविंग यू after this, and then we will be applying the whole thing onto the equation. Now, according to this, we have already seen one of the rules where we are saying that hydrogen has a fixed oxidation number, and that fixed oxidation number is +1. So how many atoms are there? 2. So we will have +1 times 2. Okay, sulfur need to find out, so let's put it as X. Oxygen, I said it's -2 most of the cases except for peroxide. So let's put down -2. How many times? 4 times. So we are going to have -2 times 4, and the overall oxidation number for this molecule will be 0. So overall it's 0। ठीक है, जब हम इसको कंप्यूट करेंगे तो हमारे पास x की वैल्यू आ जाएगी, यस, -8 हो जाएगा, और -8 में से +2 निकल जाएगा तो +6 हो जाएगा। Now coming to the next part, sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide, let's again assume it as X. Oxygen will be -2, and overall oxidation number is 0. So X की value कितनी होगी? It's going to be +4. So oxidation number of sulfur dioxide will be +4. Coming to the next one, sulfur we need to find out. Oxygen is how many? 3. So you can write it down like this, or you can write down 2 times 3 equals to 0. So basically x की value कितनी हो गई? X will be +6. तो आप देखिए सल्फर की different compounds के अंदर oxidation number different हो रहा है। ठीक है, coming to the next part we have x। ठीक है, but oxygen are 4, so -2 times 4. Something which is very important here, because this is a complex ion, this is a molecule, not molecule. In this case we had a molecule, ठीक है, इस केस में भी हमारे पास molecule compound का molecule था यहाँ पे, लेकिन यहाँ पर हमारे पास we have a complex ion, and the rule says that whatever the oxidation number of an ion, that is its overall charge। ठीक है, उसका overall charge वही है। तो अब यहाँ पर इसका overall charge 0 नहीं होगा, it will be -2। ठीक है, क्योंकि इस ओवरऑल कॉम्प्लेक्स आयन का चार्ज -2 है, जो भी चार्ज उस कॉम्प्लेक्स आयन के ऊपर है। तो x की वैल्यू कितनी हो जाएगी? 2 2 2 4 -8, उसमें से when it come over onto this side, this is going to be +8, -2, it's going to be +6। Now in this scenario we are going to have +1 times 2, ठीक है, and then we have plus x, and this is a compound, so overall 0. So x will be -2. Agreed? This is my element. This is sulfur is an element. Either you write down sulfur or you write down S8. So this is basically an element, right? So because being an element, the overall oxidation number is going to be 0. Now let's calculate in sodium sulfate. Sodium has a charge +1 because it belongs to group 1. So this is a simple ion. So simple ion ke upar jo bhi charge ho, that becomes its oxidation number. Sulfur we need to find out. Oxygen is -2 times 4. This is a compound as a whole, so it's going to be 0. So x की value कितने हो जाएगी? +2 on this side. This is -8, so its overall x की value is going to be +6. Am I clear? So these are the oxidation numbers for sulfur in different compounds. Is it clear? Right? Now, similar exercise I'm going to give you, and you are going to calculate the oxidation number of nitrogen. Okay, find out, you calculate the oxidation number of nitrogen in following compounds, right? So using the rules you have to calculate. So let's have the first one. Let it be nitrogen dioxide. The second one, let it be nitrogen monoxide. Third, it's going to be nitric acid. Fourth, it's going to be N2. Fifth, it's going to be HNO2 nitrous acid. Sixth, we have potassium nitrate. And seventh, we have ammonia. And eighth, we have ammonium chloride, right? So you will be calculating the oxidation number of nitrogen in all these compounds. So when we have done the oxidation of nitrogen, so these were the answers we were able to calculate. Now the same rules we are going to apply on this particular equation. Now the equation is, let's say I have zinc combines with copper sulfate, react with copper sulfate to form zinc sulfate and to form copper. This is one equation, right? Let's have the second equation. In the second equation, we have let's say chlorine reacts with potassium bromide, and it gives you potassium chloride and it gives you bromine. ठीक है? अब ये हमें we have to explain whether this is a redox reaction or not on the basis of change in oxidation number. ठीक है? Change in oxidation number के base पर हम explain करना है. And we know that if there's an increase in oxidation number, we know it's oxidation, right? And if there is a decrease in oxidation number, we know it's reduction, right? So we need to calculate the oxidation number and we need to see how the change is taking place. Now let's do the equation number one. We have this uncombined form of an element, so oxidation number is 0. This is another one uncombined form. This is 0, right? Copper, this is an ionic compound where the copper, इसके अंदर कॉपर के ऊपर चार्ज 2 प्लस होता है और सल्फेट के ऊपर चार्ज 2 नेगेटिव होता है. सो बीइंग एन आयंस, इनके ऊपर यही इनका ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट हो जाएगा. दिस इज गोइंग टू बी +2, दिस इज गोइंग टू बी -2, एंड बिकॉज दिस गेट कैंसल तो ओवरऑल कंपाउंड एज अ होल ओवरऑल पे 0 हो जाएगा. ठीक है? Now in this scenario we have the charge on zinc ion is 2 minus and sulfate is 2 minus. इनका ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर वही है जो इनका charge है. This become +2, this become -2, and all the oxidation number have been written down. ठीक है? अब ये यहाँ पर हमारे पास ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर हमने लिख लिए हैं और ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर के अब हम चेंज मॉनिटर करेंगे. वी आर गोइंग टू लुक एट द चेंज इन द ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर. Look here. Now 0 is changing to 2 plus. Now when 0 is changing to 2 plus, that's depicting the increase in oxidation number. An increase in oxidation number is basically what? It is basically your oxidation reaction. Now, when you talk about the second part में हमारे पास क्या है? We can see the copper 2 plus is basically changing to 0. So 2 plus 2 is changing to 0. So there you see the decrease in oxidation number. So decrease in oxidation number will be notified as what? It will be notified as reduction. Okay? So yes, this is a redox reaction where now compound as a whole will be oxidized and the compound as a whole will be reduced. So if examiner is asking us to write down explain it, so we'll say that zinc is oxidized, zinc is oxidized to zinc ions because zinc's oxidation number is increasing from 0 to +2 in zinc ions. ठीक है? Similarly, आपको रिडक्शन का देना है तो रिडक्शन में आप क्या लिखेंगे? Copper sulfate as a whole, substance as a whole, copper sulfate is reduced. Why it is reduced? it's reduced to copper because, right, because the oxidation number of copper in copper sulfate has been changed, has been decreased from +2 to 0 in copper metal, right? So that is why it's basically being reduced, right? So this is going to be my explanation if the examiner is going to ask the explanation. So what I'll do is I'll work it out like this and then I will transform it into words. I will change it into words. Now I have another example here, the second example. Let's see. Now, chlorine molecule as a whole is going to be simple molecule as a whole, or a complex molecule as a whole will be 0. Similarly, bromine will also be 0. Now, this is an ionic compound, so whatever the charge they have, that becomes the oxidation number. So this is इसका positive 1 है, इसका -1 है, इसका positive 1 है, इसका -1 है. जो इनकी बैलेंसी थी उसको हमने ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर में ट्रांसफॉर्म कर दिया. अब हम देखते हैं 0 is changing to -1, तो there is a uh, decrease in oxidation number, and decrease in oxidation number is basically explaining that this substance as a whole, chlorine as a whole, has been reduced. Now we are going to potassium ka koi change nahi hai. Potassium is here as +1, here also +1. तो potassium के basis पर हम आगे explain नहीं कर सकते, लेकिन हाँ, the bromide has been changed. The bromide has changed from -1 to 0, so there is an increase in oxidation number. Increase in oxidation number will be specifying that this substance as a whole is being basically oxidized. ठीक है, substance as a whole is being reduced. तो अब अगर हमसे examiner detail में मांगता है, if he wants us to explain in words, and then we'll write down chlorine is reduced because its oxidation number is decreasing from 0 to -1 in KCl, right? Whereas bromide ions oxidation number is increasing, या bromine कह सकते हैं, bromine's oxidation number is increasing from -1 in bromide to 0 in bromine. So potassium bromide substance as a whole is being oxidized, right? Is being oxidized. So this is how we will be explaining it. We will be doing this exercise. The answers are already given here. Now the question says that the question is for the following reaction. This is reaction 1, this is reaction 2, this is reaction 3. For the following reaction, identify which species has been oxidized and which species has been reduced. Okay, you have to tell which is oxidized. The answers are already given here, right? So you have to explain it to me and you have to work it out. What are the different oxidation number you will be assigning to these elements or to the compound as a whole? इनमें जो different species हैं, like lead है, oxygen है, इनका oxidation number क्या है, और उसके basis पर आपको explain करना है. These are the final answers given to you, but you are not going to just look into the answers, but आपको उनको explain करना है. Let me tell you how. Let me do the first example for you. Now I have oxygen as -2 always. तो ऑटोमेटिकली अगर ये -2 है, क्योंकि कंपाउंड एज अ होल जो है उसका ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर मेरा 0 होगा, तो अगर ऑक्सीजन का -2 है तो लेड ऑटोमेटिकली मेरा +2 होगा. ठीक है. हाइड्रोजन इज माई सिंपल मॉलिक्यूल हाइड्रोजन इज माई सिंपल मॉलिक्यूल, तो इसका ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर 0 होगा. लेड इज माई अनकम्बाइंड फॉर्म, तो इसका ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर मेरा 0 होगा. वाटर वी विल बी टेकिंग एज H positive, and we will be okay. Water, let's take it as we have +1 लेकिन एक ही ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर, एक ही एलिमेंट का लेंगे, it's +1, and oxygen is going to be -2. तो आप क्या लेंगे? You will be taking +1 and +1. एक्चुअली है कितना, क्योंकि ये 2 एटम है, दैट्स व्हाई ओवरऑल विल बी 0, लेकिन ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर कितना है इसका? एक्चुअल हाइड्रोजन का ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर इज +1. ठीक है, ये करने के बाद व्हाट विल बी डूइंग द नेक्स्ट, वी विल बी कंपेयरिंग देम, विल बी सीइंग व्हिच इज शोइंग द इंक्रीज एंड व्हिच इज गोइंग टू शो द डिक्रीज. नाउ लेट्स सी, here lead is changing from +2 to 0. There's a decrease in oxidation number. Because there's a decrease in oxidation number, so this part is being reduced. Now hydrogen, it's been changing from 0 to +1. There's an increase in oxidation number, and because it's been increase in oxidation number, so this part is been oxidized. ठीक है, it's oxidized. तो हम एक पार्ट की बात नहीं करते हैं, हम केमिकल एज अ होल की बात करते हैं, हम रिएक्टेंट एज अ होल की बात करते हैं. सो विल से दैट लेड ऑक्साइड विल बी reduced. ठीक है, एंड हाइड्रोजन इज बीन ऑक्सीडाइज. तो ये सिर्फ ये कह रहे हैं कि आइडेंटिफाई. लेकिन अगर एग्जामिनर आपसे कहता है एक्सप्लेन, explain on the basis of oxidation number that how these species has been oxidized or reduced, तो वहां पर आपको जो मैंने अभी आपको explanation verbally दिया है उसको आप in writing करेंगे. ठीक है, आप क्या लिखेंगे, what you'll be writing it down, the first part, we'll write it down that यहाँ पर हम कहेंगे कि lead's oxidation number in PbO is changing from is changing, right, is changing from +2 to 0 in Pb. Hence, therefore, it's been the substance. Therefore, PbO as a whole is being reduced. सही है. Similarly, this is first part. Coming to the second part. Second part, अब आपको ये आपने reduce का बता दिया, अब आपको second part में आपको जो है वो oxidize का बताना है. ठीक है, अब आप क्या कहेंगे, hydrogen oxidation number is increased from 0 to +1 in water in H2O. Therefore, hydrogen is being oxidized. ठीक है, सो दिस इज बेसिकली माय एक्सप्लेनेशन. अब बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज क्या है, जो बच्चे जो करते हैं वो क्या करते हैं, +1 और +1 को हाइड्रोजन का +2 कर देते हैं, जबकि हमें पता है हाइड्रोजन इज +1 एज अ रूल हमें पता है. सो विल बी जस्ट राइटिंग इट्स चेंजिंग फ्रॉम 0 to +1. विल नॉट सम देम अप बिकॉज दीज +2 वाज व्हेन यू वर टॉकिंग अबाउट टू एटम्स कंबाइनली, बट एक्चुअली ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर ऑफ हाइड्रोजन इज +1. सिमिलरली अगर मैं CuSO4 की बात करती हूँ तो ऑक्सीजन का ऑक्सीडेशन नंबर -2 ही आप कहेंगे. ठीक है, आप ये नहीं कहेंगे इट्स -2 times 4 it's going to be -8. That's wrong explanation. So now what you have to do is you please do one thing. You have to explain the whole answers actually given to you for the second and third part. Now you do the explanation part of your answer so that I can check it out. ठीक है.